right, Vinny Sharon here. Tell me what you're smoking this weekend.
10-pound pork butt.
10-pound pork butt.
Gonna make some pulled pork for some sandwiches for lunch tomorrow at work.
So what prep went into that?
Just really just seasoning up the pork butt, letting it sit overnight, and took it out when I got home to kind of get it close to room temperature before I put it on. And once it gets on there, man, it's just a matter of keeping the pellets full so it'll run all night. I'm gonna smoke it all night, take it off about 5 o'clock tomorrow morning, pull it apart, put it in a crock pot, sauce it up, put it in a crock pot, and just let it keep warm for lunch.
So if I just go to the store and I grab a pork butt right now, if I'm just Joe Blow off the street, never done before in my life. Now, so I take it home, right?
Mm-hmm.
I need to sit it out. What do I need to do with it? How do I prepare it? I've never done this before in my life.
You can do it any way you want. I mean, you can use any kind of seasoning you want on it. You can use prepared seasoning from, like, I use meat church.
I just go down to season aisle. I grab a bottle of pork seasoning.
Yeah, grab a bottle of pork seasoning. You could do salt, pepper, and garlic salt. You can do salt and pepper.
So how do you get the seasoning to stay on the pork butt?
So I know a lot of people use mustard as a binder or some kind of binder, man. I just put it on there. I personally wash the meat off, and then I pat it dry, and then I just put it in a pan and season it up, and I let it season overnight, probably about 24 hours.
Okay.
And cook it the next day.
So you put it in the fridge overnight, 24
Yeah,
hours?
put it in the fridge.
So when you do yours, do you score it? When I say score it, I mean because some people may know, some people may not know. When I say score, do you cut the lines in so it looks pretty like it does on TV, or you just put it on top of it? How do you do it?
So this one I scored. This is only the second time I tried a pork butt. First time I did it, I didn't score it, but I watch a lot of barbecue shows, so I see a lot of the guys and girls scoring the top. So I scored this one just to see, if it makes a difference, get the seasoning down in there. So we'll see. I don't know.
So when you season it, when you put the stuff on there, regardless if you use salt and pepper, if you're using the seasoning you get from pork oil, so how much seasoning do you put on it? Do you put it just on the top? How do you do it? How do you
Oh no, I do all sides. The whole pork butt gets seasoned.
Top, bottom,
side.
Just a little bit, all of it. How much?
I'm very. I don't want to say liberal. I put a lot of seasoning on it because it's a lot of meat. I mean, it's 10 pounds of meat.
And you want to get it all the way through them.
I want to try to get it all the way through the meat. It's very difficult when it's that big, but you're going to taste the seasoning in there with the sauce.
Now, is that the reason why you let it sit overnight in the refrigerator so it kind of has a...
Part of the reason why I do that, part of the reason is because I don't want to season it, throw it on the grill, right? I want to season it, let it kind of soak in a little bit. If it does, I don't even know if it works. So I do it, and I do the same thing with my briskets. I do the same thing with my ribs. I do the seasoning the night before, let it sit in the refrigerator overnight, take them out the next day, and just throw it on the pit. And it seems to give it a decent color when you're smoking.
Well, before we go on about more smoking, we're going to try a little bit of whiskey. So we have 4 whiskeys out here today, bourbons actually. So they are all sweet. We decided to go with the sweet, kind of a challenge today to see which one we prefer. Bourbon is kind of like barbecue, honestly. It's your palate, what you like. Everyone's done a little bit different. These 4 in particular, 2 of them are from Texas and 2 of them are from Kentucky. We have Oak and Eden and Blackland are both from Texas. And Wild Turkey American Honey and Good Times Bourbon are both from Kentucky. So we're going to try all 4 of them. and then we're gonna, just let you know what we think. I encourage you to try all four, in particular if you like something a little sweet. Again, it's all individual taste, preference, and how you drink them is individual taste. So some people like them neat, how they're set up right now. Some people like them with a little bit of ice, which is what I currently have in my glass. Just a hair bit of ice. Some people, my wife likes them actually with sweet tea. So that's how she drinks her bourbon, actually with sweet tea. It's a Texas thing, I guess, or at least a Southern thing. So however you like it is how I encourage you to drink your bourbon. But which one would you like to drink first?
Well, I've already tried the Oak and Eden. Very good.
So what do you think about the Oak and Eden? So you said you tried it. So what do you think
Oak
about
and
it?
Eden is very smooth. Not a lot of burn going down. I tried the Wild Turkey American Honey. Very, very, very.
One thing to see about the Oak and Eden, if you can tell, one, I kind of drink a little bit more at home than I have here. But they have a spiral of wood inside. And that is why it says in bottle finished. And we talked about that a little bit before this episode started. And the whole goal, at least Oak and Eden says, is that it helps age the bourbon inside the bottle. And a couple weeks ago, I was talking to Vinny before it started. My wife and I were at the Texas Whiskey Festival, and it actually did taste different. We tried one with this spiral and without it.
Really?
It tastes a lot different. Actually, it's a lot better. But
Good bourbon.
It is. So then you said you tried.
I tried the Wild Turkey American Honey.
Okay. So what do you think about that?
I couldn't when I smelled it. I couldn't smell the honey, but when you taste it, you can definitely taste the honey. Very sweet. I like it. Very smooth. No complaints about it at all from me. Now I want to try the good times.
Man, I tell you, tell me what let's talk about the good times once you're done. That's what I have in my glass right now. It's Good Times. It is made by Whiskey Thief up in Kentucky.
Firing up.
Yeah, you got to see the smoke coming now.
Yeah, working now.
Man, it smells good. I'm not gonna lie to you. We're gonna talk about that in just a bit. What it's smoking with.
It's good. It has the most burn of the three so far.
Kentucky hug.
It has a lot of Kentucky hug.
So,
but it's smooth and it's very good. Can't taste as much of the honey as you can in the American honey one, but it is very good.
So let's talk about that Kentucky hug. Is what he's talking about here.
The burn.
The reason why it has the Kentucky hug is what we talk about is so the Good Times is 113 proof. It is the highest proof of all the ones we've tried so far. So the Oak and Eden comes in at 90 proof. The American Honey is the lowest proof of all four.
71.
So it comes in at 71 proof. It is the lowest proof. It's going to be the easiest drinking.
We're gonna get smoked out here.
It's awesome. That's what we're here for. I would suggest if you're going to have the American Honey, you do it with unsweet tea, honestly. Just because it's so sweet. If you have a sweet tea, it's going to be a little overpowering.
I think so. It would probably taste good in unsweet tea.
Unsweet tea, it's just the right amount. It's pretty good. But it's up to you. You can have it however you want. Again, this was 90. It doesn't really drink like a 90 proof. It's very good.
Yeah, so that's 90 and this is what?
113. It's going to be the
You
highest.
can definitely tell the
proof
difference in the Kentucky hug from the 90 to the 113. You can.
I'm sure you can.
As I'm getting smoked out over here. We're gonna smoke this meat.
This meat's gonna smoke. It's gonna smell great. But this is how you get the flavor, right? It's funny because the next we're talking about there are definitely some whiskeys out there we'll try down. Some other episodes it's gonna really take that barbecue flavor to a different level. But we'll try that next time. We saved the Texas Pecan brown sugar bourbon for last. If you haven't had a chance to try it yet, Blackland, Texas pecan, sugar bourbon. I would encourage you to do so. I do need you to, it's only about 35% alcohol, so about 70%, 70 proof, so it's actually the lowest of all of them. It's sweet. It's going to be sweet. It's very sweet. If you like sweet things, you're going to like it. And so, I encourage you to.
Have you tried it before?
I have. I tried
Does it taste like bourbon? Does it have the bourbon? Does it have a Kentucky hug?
It does not have a Kentucky hug. I would say Texas pecan does not have any Kentucky hug whatsoever.
Does it have a Texas hug? if there's such a thing.
I don't think. Well, there are some Kentucky. There are. So there's a Garrison Brothers out there, and God bless them. They make some great bourbon. They have a Cowboy that does have a hug, but it's pretty good. Actually, it's very tasty.
Garrison, I think I've tried that before.
Garrison Brothers, it's very good, very tasty. And it does have a hug if you do the Cowboy, but it's very, very good, very good.
All right, so we're almost to temperature.
Okay. So yeah, let's talk more about where you're at. So you're almost to temperature. So what temperature is that?
So you got to heat it up to 150, and then once it gets to 150, it'll give me a little alarm.
Okay.
Then I'm going to put it to 225.
So let's talk about more before we get into that, because I do want to get there. So let's talk more about what you're cooking on today. So what are you cooking on today?
So it's a Green Mountain Grill Jim Bowie.
A Green Mountain Grill Jim
Bowie. It's the biggest. It's the biggest pellet smoker they make.
A pellet smoker. So what is a pellet smoker for those out there that don't know?
So their target temperature is hit, so I got to change it. So now it's going to smoke some more.
For those of you who don't know, he's in there looking out. He's playing with his app that's connected with his smoker. So
that's right.
This is a high-tech piece of machinery that's doing
low
the
tech.
Smoking for him.
It's low tech because I'm using it. It has to be low tech for me.
So let's be honest here.
So the wood pellets are. I'll show you. So the wood pellets are. It's a wood byproduct that is just kind of. It's just kind of cut out wood pellets that are. And then they just burn like wood. And
so the wood pellets, so they look like pellets, like little chunks of wood.
Yeah, little spirals of wood.
Okay.
And it has a hopper that holds about, I don't know, maybe 5 pounds, 6 pounds.
Okay.
And so you fill it up, and you start it up and let it run. And I have 2 thermometers in there. This has a.
The thermometers are internal.
So I put them there.
You put them.
This
you had to buy it separate.
I did, and I only did that for my own reason because there's a deflector in there, a heat deflector that you can move to make sure that not one side of the grill is getting more heat than the other. So I bought a couple thermometers, put them in there, and so what I'll do is once it gets to 225, I'll let it sit for about 5 or 10 minutes. I'll open up the lid and see where the temperature is on both sides. If they're pretty even, then I'll leave the deflector where it's at. If it's not, then I'll move it one way or the other.
So could you actually do 2 things at one time? So you say heat deflector, could you have 2 different temperatures at one time?
You can. You can do like.
I mean, I don't know.
25 or 50 degrees.
So guys, I'll be honest with you. In this little group here, Vinny knows more about barbecue, so that's why I'm asking all these questions.
I don't know a lot about it, but I can cook some of it.
So that's why I'm asking all these questions.
That's why Lyle brought the.
I brought the bourbon. He's bringing the barbecue.
And I'm doing the barbecue.
I may be asking some stupid questions out there. Y'all may be asking why it's so crazy, but that's what I'm asking here.
Okay, so we're at 225.
Okay,
so
we're
I'm
at
going to let it
225.
sit for until about 5 after 6.
Okay. So what are you cooking the pork butt at? What temperature?
225.
225.
And by the time I get it on there, it'll probably be within the next 15 or 20 minutes. I'll put it on, and then I'll just let it. It feeds the pellets. I don't have to put any wood on it, and then I'll check it probably around 10 o'clock, I'll fill the hopper back up, and then it'll cook all night at 225.
When you say all night, 8 hours, 10 hours?
So if I put it on at 6, well, it's 6 now. So if I put it on before 6:30, I'll probably get up about 5 o'clock and come and check it to see where we are internal temperature wise. And if it's at temperature, then I'll take it out. I'll take it out of here, throw it back in the pan.
So you won't have to refill the pellets. You won't have to worry about it.
Overnight, no.
You can just, it's almost like an oven outside.
Correct.
You kind of set it and let it go.
Set it and forget it. Yep. But I'll check it to see. So 6 o'clock. So by 10 o'clock, 4 hours, I'll see how far we've gone on the hopper. And if I see that we're below half, then I might wake up maybe around midnight, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, just to check it, to make sure it's good, and then go back to sleep.
Okay,
So it's up to temp, so that's why.
Yeah, it's fine. So when it's up to temp, automatically shuts off. It drops below that. It kicks back on.
Correct.
It's just like automatic.
It's
right?
automatic.
So
Yep. You don't have really.
it's like your oven, right? So like your internal oven inside your house, but it's outside, standalone. Now
and it's smoking. That's really the only difference is that it's smoking. It's creating smoke and it's smoking the meat or whatever you have on there.
so your smoke just escapes out outside.
Yeah.
So is it like it's not direct heat, right? It's indirect.
No, it's indirect.
Indirect heat.
Yeah. So inside is there's, like I told you, there's a deflector, and then there's a aluminum pan on top that, and then on top of that, there's grill grates. So, and then there's a heat sensor on the end down here. So it detects whether or not it's getting hotter or colder. Like right now, it's so it's at 225 and it's at 225. So it might have dropped for a little bit. Now it's just filming, but you'll have fluctuation in temperature. Normally, I think I've seen it go to 228 when I'm doing briskets. It goes maybe to 253, 254. Then sometimes it goes to 248.
But you can set, because of the app, right? App is very friendly, very user friendly. I'm assuming, right?
It is
you can
very,
set temperature, what temperature you want, right? So
Yes.
you don't have to.
I don't have to have a thermometer on the outside to tell me
You
what
can tell
the
it
inside-
like I want it to be set at 250.
Yep.
And
you set it at
225,
Yep.
and just set it and
And
forget
there you
it.
go. Yep. And then I do
Now,
have.
can you set a timer on it? I want it to set this much at this much
They
time.
do have some grill profiles on here, but I don't use those.
Okay.
And it also does have meat probes that you can put in here. That, like, if I'm doing this outside and it's like really the sun's baking on you or too hot or too cold, you can go inside. You can tell what the temperature of the meat is.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Now,
You don't have to check it.
where do you get something like this? Like, where do you buy it? Like, where do you buy the extra grill?
So I bought mine from a place out in northeast Georgetown called Grillin' and Chillin'.
Grilling and chilling.
Yep.
Okay.
And a friend of mine, I think his in-laws own it. And
But can you go to Home Depot? Can you go to
you
Lowe's?
can go to Home Depot and buy a Pit Boss, a Traeger, or I don't know
Well,
what.
they all pellet. So is
They're
it?
all pellet. So they're not. You can still buy stick burners.
So tell me the difference between a stick burner and a pellet.
So a stick burner is actual wood logs that you
You get to feed.
you have to put the wood in, and you have to get the fire going, and you have to constantly check to make sure that it has enough wood or it's not too much wood, so that you're keeping a constant temperature.
You have to do it all night long.
Yes.
Okay, so the difference is with a wood burner, you have to feed the logs. At least what I'm understanding, maybe I'm wrong.
You have to keep the temperature up by keeping the fire pit
You have to keep it going all night long.
right.
So the pellet,
The
does it
pellet,
for
you can set it and forget it.
So where do you get the pellet from?
So I buy mine at
You-
HEB.
You can get HEB.
I buy my pellets at HEB.
And for those of you who are not in Texas, HEB is a grocery store.
Yeah. They have the same ones at Academy. They're a couple dollars more.
Academy,
You can buy them at
pellets anywhere. Probably,
Yeah.
but Amazon can probably.
You can buy them on Amazon. You sure can. I mean, I just
Wood pellets. So
and this specific flavor I'm using on this pork butt.
when you get you actually have a flavor pellets.
Yes, these are post oak.
Post oak wood.
So
pellets.
they have post oak, they have oak, they have hickory,
Okay.
and there's
So you can actually add different flavor by the pellets you put in your wood.
yes.
Okay.
But to be truthfully honest with you, I've used hickory.
Does it matter?
I use post oak. I can't taste any difference. So, and that may just be my palate. Some people may be able to tell the difference.
It'd be interesting to know by any comments we may get. Can you taste the difference from pellets that you use?
And even
It'd be interesting.
in a stick burner, you can buy post oak, you can buy mesquite, you can buy
Yeah, you
oak.
definitely different wood you can taste.
Yeah,
I mean,
You know, can you tell the difference? I mean, it's smoke, right?
yeah. So
Does the smoke have
that's a
flavor?
great question.
Yeah.
Now you can with bourbon, right? So
that you can.
so I can definitely tell the difference on different bourbon. On can you taste the oak? Can you taste the different flavors? A little tricky, honestly. We're going to taste it in a minute. He's not tasted Texas pecan yet. I'm interested to hear what he thinks about it.
So, so the Oak and Eden,
Yeah,
very smooth.
Very smooth.
Not a lot of Kentucky hug.
Not a Kentucky hug here.
Not a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit.
The American honey, smooth as to be, very sweet.
Okay.
Very little Kentucky hug.
Okay.
The good times,
Kentucky hug.
a lot of Kentucky hug with that.
Kentucky hug with the good times. But did you taste anything else other than honey with the good times?
No.
Really? You didn't taste the honey. You didn't taste the oak.
No.
Let's try that again. Because I can taste more flavor profile other than honey with the good times. I mean, I just taste a lot more.
So I tasted the
I'm
honey
full
on that one.
more full body with that.
It's definitely more full body, but I got a hint of the honey on that one.
Yeah, it's less honey, honestly. But it's just more full body. It's more flavor for me. Now again, everybody has a different taste palate.
And you do a lot more tastings than I do.
Yeah.
I don't taste a lot.
I just taste a lot more profile with the good times than any of the others at the moment.
I'm a Crown Apple and 7-Up guy. Bring me some Crown Apple and 7-Up.
Again, he loves the sweet stuff,
sweet.
and that's why I brought. To be honest with you, that's why I brought the sweet stuff today. But you have to know your audience. You have to know your audience.
Yeah.
And so
It's
that's
like
why
barbecue. You got to know your audience, man.
yeah, that's why I brought the sweet stuff today. And so, but I do taste more. I taste more oak. I taste more. It's just full body. I have to be honest. To me, out of the four, I do love the. This, you haven't tasted this one yet, so I have to.
Okay.
I'll have to pause.
But, for me, in what I like, the American honey wild turkey.
Right now, that's it. That's the one for you.
Yeah, I mean, I like it all, but
Well, let's try Stickland. Let's try Blackland. Oh my God!
For me to have like a glass and be able to just drink it would be the American honey.
What do you think about it? What do you think about the Texas pecan?
So to me, this would make a very good after dinner liqueur.
I'm telling you what, after dinner dessert wine, not wine, but bourbon. After
Because
dinner
you can
dessert.
taste all the profiles.
All the
Very,
profiles.
very good. It has a very subtle Kentucky hug, but it's more than the American honey.
Really? Because it's less. It's less.
So for me, it has more of the bite in the beginning. The American honey had more of a bite further down in the throat. So
that's interesting.
Good, very good. I like this.
I think you would like it overall, but that's interesting that you think it's so. It's more. Did you say more up front? It's more at the front of your mouth.
Yes.
More bite up front. That's interesting. It finishes better.
Yeah, it finishes a lot better.
That's interesting. So what do you think about, so overall taste, so what do you think about, so
The taste is
do
phenomenal.
you taste the pecan, do you taste the
Yep, I taste
brown
everything.
sugar?
I can taste
You taste
everything.
everything.
Yep, I can taste everything in that.
So you taste the pecan, you taste the brown sugar.
Yep, very, very good.
I'll tell you what, that right there, I could just taste over like vanilla ice cream.
Oh, heck yeah.
Oh my God. Just
Vanilla ice cream for sure.
Oh,
I gotta check.
yeah. So he's checking right now to make sure
I
it's,
gotta move a little bit of
the whiskey, the bourbon.
see where we are temperature wise. We're at 225 on the right, and look at that, 225 on the left. We are ready.
He's ready to go.
We are ready for meat.
So we're gonna throw on the pork butt. He's gonna bring it out here in just a minute.
You want to move it?
Yeah. Well, you can. Yeah.
Or you can just lift it up. I can put it over.
I'll do it. So we'll go ahead and bring out the pork butt, and then you can put it on. And we'll continue. So overall, I personally, I'm still into the Good Times bourbon. Has an overall profile that I prefer. It just definitely has a full body. Really good taste, honey. On the front of your palate, on the back, it just, you can taste the deep profiles of it. He either prefers the Blackland or the American honey. He says you can taste all of the Texas pecan and brown sugar. He says that you can, Benny says that you can taste the Texas pecan more on the front of your palate, while the American honey you can taste more on the back side. And so here comes the wonderful pork butt.
Yep.
Show it to the wonderful people.
Here we are.
Ready to go.
Nice and marinated, seasoned up.
All right.
Time to smoke. Time to smoke some meat.
So it's ready to go. Smoking for 8 to 10 hours.
Yep.
At 225. So out of all of them, which one do you prefer?
So I would, if I was doing just a whiskey drink, like during dinner or something, it would probably be the Good Times.
Really?
If I was doing it after dinner, it would be the Texas pecan brown sugar.
Really? I did not see that coming from you, honestly. That is interesting.
Yeah, this is really, I really enjoy this. It's very soothing.
So, again, that's from Texas. So, it's very good.
Wow. That's
It's
really
it's
good.
really good.
Wow.
I'm going to be honest, Blackland it's very good.
Yeah.
I was very surprised by that when we had it. But I thought you were going to go with American honey, I'll be honest with you.
American honey is good. It just, to me, is too sweet. I thought the Texas pecan and brown sugar would be sweeter, but the American honey is sweeter.
It is.
It is.
It is.
But that, you can actually taste the bourbon in the Blackland. Is that what it is?
Yeah, Blackland, yeah.
The Blackland, where in the American honey is really, you get a
It's
lot of
almost
honey.
like it coats your tongue.
Yeah, it's honey. You know, you taste honey. On the Blackland, man, you can taste it all. It's very good.
You get the whole full profile of what they're trying to sell, right?
Exactly.
The pecan, the brown sugar, the bourbon. So, again, as we talked about earlier, know your audience. My friend Vinny is a sweet guy. He knows his stuff. He likes his sweet stuff.
I do like Texas. I do like Crown Apple and Seven.
That's interesting. I never knew that. Actually,
Crown
until
Apple.
we talked tonight, I never knew that you like
Crown Apple and Seven.
So
this is what you get, man. This is
it, man. Bourbon and
bourbon, barbecue, and pellet grills.
pellet grills.
You know, and this is, let me tell you, I'm a backyard smoker. I'm not a professional. You know, I dibble at it here and there, and knock on wood, I haven't had any complaints yet, but to tomorrow may be the first. You never know.
Never know. This is
You never know.
this is two regular guys, you know, doing regular stuff. So.
Yeah, doing regular stuff, man. Doing what we love to do.
Exactly.
Drink bourbon,
Drinking
smoke
and
meat.
eating. Exactly. Drinking and eating.
Appreciate y'all
All right.
watching us. Have a good night.
Yeah, have a good one.